in the storm. It should be done to avoid a capsizing situation. Caught a lot of crocodiles. It's not that difficult. All you need is a good boat, plus an experienced hunter. You can catch a lot of giant crocodiles in these conditions. With the sudden storm, one by one, the hunters prepared. Avoid capsizing in this swamp, and make your own crocodile draw value. In this rain, we can rush up, and now Dorian and Daniel, and began the day's hunt. But two of them before the storm blows. Complete the capture of 50 lines to maintain the current #1 position. As the two men came to the first trap, Dorian was desperate to pull out a crocodile. But the good thing about this fish is its violent reaction. Let two people see the hope of today. It also makes Dorian stronger. It's not just keeping crocodiles at the edge of the boat. Even gave Daniel a chance on the other side. I just hit the gator right in the face. And this 11-foot alligator. Let two people very happy, but only in this bad weather. Take this alligator that looks like it's covered in grease. Pulling the boat out of the water is not easy. Fortunately, the two were able to pull it out, but they still have to push on. At the same time, Ashley and Anna decided to stay in the swamp near home today to catch the big crocodiles. After all, after the storm, those crocodiles in the water will not appear at this stage. The two men came to a shallow beach. Anna immediately plunges the pole into the water and pulled it straight to the surface. And the appearance of crocodiles also revealed their ferocity, constantly rolling in the water, trying to pull Anna into the water. But the good news is that Anna's high-tech. No human crocodile has succeeded. But it also made Ashley on one side very angry. He quickly fired a shot at the crocodile. But this shot was a hit. This made me very surprised. That's a good shot to hit the alligator. I think this job is very easy. But look at this one that's about 11 feet tall. It still proves they're skilled. And Bruce on the other side, he came up with what he thought was a good idea. That is to come to the other side of the swamp. Stay out of the storm's path. I didn't even bring a raincoat, but I think Bruce might. Cold symptoms tomorrow. Follow Bruce to the first trap. Look at the rope that fell into the water. Quickly came forward to pull the crocodile out of the water. Although Bruce is fighting alone. But this crocodile doesn't seem to be putting up much of a fight. Bruce didn't just keep it under control. You even pick up the gun and shoot it. The crocodile doesn't even have a chance to react. And this 9-foot crocodile gets on board. A little disappointing for Bruce. After all, a crocodile of this size. It doesn't help their team. At the same time, Ronnie and Timmy, their team is finally getting better. Then the storm hit. This makes two people very uncomfortable. But the two could only try to race against time. Get ahead of the storm. Will look like the crocodiles in these traps. Pull them all to their boats. As Ronnie pulls the crocodile out of the water, they too began to wrestle with the monster. Although this crocodile keeps bumping into the boat, but it's also a great opportunity for both of them. Ronnie just yanked the alligator. Timmy was right there with the gator to meet the god that might exist. And this 10-foot crocodile. Let the two see the ranking rise to hope. After all, this is #1 today. But watch the storm approach. The two capture the crocodiles in the remaining traps. It's also starting to get harder. And on the other side, poor Chops and Laurent. And the threat of this storm. But for the prize of being #1. Neither of them wanted to stop, even to catch more crocodiles. Laurent was flying with the poor Chops, right in front of a loaded trap. And poor Chop immediately pulls on the rope and tell Laurent to stand by and get ready. As the crocodile is pulled out of the water, its death roll is done out. Even the pull of the poor Chop, and still keep insisting. But there's still a gun in Laurent's hand, carried away by its direct blast. And this head is huge, and a 9-foot crocodile gets on board. They were very happy, but this constantly flashing thunder, but kept reminding them to speed up. Bruce is still hunting alone. I'm still confident in my plan. It's probably the only team out there right now, still basking in the sun in the swamp. With this trap setup complete, Bruce immediately moved on to the next location, and Ashley and Anna on the other side, looking ahead at the darkening sky. Two people instantly feel themselves may not run out of time. I'll even be catching crocodiles in the rain soon. But now whatever. Let's just grab the one in front of us. As the two get closer, found this crocodile on land. It made them both a little uncomfortable. Ashley ran to get the gun, despite the warnings of this crocodile. But Anna was able to pull him back to the boat. And Ashley, on the other side, is also looking at the moment. One shot sends the crocodile to God. After pulling the crocodile on the boat, turns out this one's only 8 feet long. Ashley was instantly dumbfounded. I didn't realize the crocodile was so small. It's all about messing around. But now is not the time to feel bad. The other crocodiles must be caught soon, or it won't be too late. And Daniel and Dorian on the other side, about to face the baptism of torrential rain. But they still wouldn't leave, trying to work out the rest of the traps. But now the rain is falling, but they keep trying to get 2 people. That makes Dorian and Daniel. I had to pick up my pace. It's not just about keeping crocodiles at the edge of the boat and pull it out of the water, but this crocodile fought back. It's still too intense. It gave Daniel on the other side a long shot and put him to sleep, although the process is a little difficult. But with this 10-foot crocodile on board, still very happy for both of them. And now they're on a boat. It's filled with a lot of crocodiles. This made both of them less nervous. At the same time, Ronnie and Timmy, looking at the mostly black sky, knew the rain was almost here. You have to pick up your pace. To the crocodiles who want to fall into this trap, all pulled to their boats one by one. As Ronnie pulls the gator out, the fight between the two began again. Although this crocodile is not very strong, but Ronnie still found it hard to deal with. This one is too energetic, constantly moving around in the water. But the good news is this crocodile doesn't know what the danger is, right? I found myself in Timmy's crosshairs. It was a straight shot to the head. I really did not expect. I can't believe there's such a stupid crocodile. But this fish is very small. This makes the two, who have been forced by the torrential rain. The mood became very bad in an instant. And on the other side, Pork Chops and Laron. But it's worse than Ronnie and Ronnie. Now they too are beginning to get caught in the rain. But they brought raincoats. But the Pork Chop is a little grumpy. How could he not get it on? I'd rather get in the rain than get help from Laron. But the rain is not so heavy now. You can still see if the rope falls. Pull the crocodile out with the Pork Chop. Laron also came to the boat in his raincoat, waiting for the crocodile in the rain, controlled by a Pork Chop on one side. All of a sudden, Laron fired his gun. Get this crocodile out of the rain. It can be pulled out with a Pork Chop. But it turns out that this giant crocodile is very small. So small that it's only 7 feet tall. But neither had time to wonder why. Must move on to the next trap as soon as possible. And Bruce on the other side of the swamp. It's riding safely along the river. I have to say he's probably right. Everyone else is already in the rain. And he was still dry. And you can clearly see the crocodile in the trap. Bruce is closing in. Immediately start pulling the crocodile towards the boat. But the giant alligator just got to the boat and did the unthinkable. I just jumped on my own boat, although Bruce was scared into the water. But it also allowed him to get the gun. And you can imagine what happened to this crocodile. Even though this giant crocodile made it to the boat, but it still saved Bruce money, the strength to pull it into the boat. But he's just like any other hunter now. It's all wet and no longer dry. At the same time, Ashley and Anna, the two men moved closer to the storm. But now they've only caught a few alligators. This leaves the two men in desperate need of a giant crocodile. Or everything we've done today. It'll be a waste of time or even a drop in the rankings. As the two reached the trap again before, Anna found this crocodile in the shallows by the trap and hiding behind a pile of grass. They had to pull it out first, doing other things. As Anna pulls it out a little later, Ashley quickly killed him to protect it from the rain that is to come, even though this crocodile is only 8 feet old. But now the two are no longer picky. After all, there is constant lightning. Always remind 2 people that the storm is coming. And Ronnie and Timmy on the other side, after hours of trying, suddenly he came into the shade of a tree. Watch the 2 men take something out of the box. I thought it was a secret weapon at first. I didn't realize it was a sandwich. Looks like they're really hungry too. Otherwise, at such a critical time, sit and eat there. Meanwhile, Laurent and Pork Chops, although still in the nonstop field, but the two are still trying to hunt the crocodiles. Quickly pull up the rope before reaching the trap. Pull the crocodile out with the pork chop. Look at the size of this giant alligator. Pork Chop quickly shoots Laren, although the crocodile's resistance was fierce. But in front of Laurent, and got shot with a gun, even though they're still in the rain. But pull this crocodile into the boat. Still very happy. And Bruce on the other side. Look at the crocodiles everywhere. I feel more and more about today's decision. How right that is. But now the sky is beginning to appear dark clouds. This made Bruce instantly alert. But the problem with the storm, or the alligator in front of you. He hurried forward to arrest him. As Bruce prepares to put him to death, the crocodile suddenly ran into the water. Bruce just missed the boat, can only pull it back up and look for new opportunities. But this crocodile looks stupid. I didn't move at the side of the boat. Just let Bruce die. He was then pulled onto the boat. But the boat is full of crocodiles. And Ronnie and Timmy on the other side. After a morning of arrests, the two will also face the baptism of the storm. Fortunately, there are few traps left. But in this heavy rain, they're still a little hard to hunt. Fortunately, it didn't last long. It didn't even last long after that. The rain began to stop, following the two men to a trap. Timmy quickly stepped forward and pulled the rope out. But the crocodile immediately began to fight back. This makes Ronnie on one side. Quickly took the rope. Start fighting this alligator. But this one is really smart. I can't believe I ran under the boat. But Ronnie pulled him to the surface. I even pulled it up in the air. Have Timmy on the other side shoot him straight away after pulling it to the side of the boat. But it turns out the crocodile wasn't very big. But now the ships are full. And Daniel and Dorian on the other side. The two are still hunting for crocodiles. Even in this rain, two people also enjoy this catch. Even seeing this trap right in front of me, Dorian quickly grabbed the rope. Although in this arrest, there was an accident with Daniel's gun, but it was handled in a timely manner. Or let this 10-foot alligator manage to break Dorian's grip. And Ashley and Anna on the other side. To a trap, Anna immediately stepped forward and pulled the rope. With the crocodiles coming to the surface, Anna immediately started pulling, although the crocodile is less resistant, but it still has a lot of strength. But on Anna's walk, the strength gradually becomes very small. It gave Ashley a chance on the side and sent it straight to heaven, although the two eventually managed to pull him aboard. But look at this 8-foot crocodile. Let two people very uncomfortable. But look at this sudden wind. Quickly began to look for other traps. But then suddenly the rain began to fall. This made them think they should stop. So after an hour of two people running, finally back to the dock, Anna quickly tied the boat and ran back to the car with Ashley and Ronnie and Timmy on the other side, and still hunting for alligators in the swamp, following the two men to a trap. Look at the crocodile floating on the water. He hurried forward to control it at the side of the boat. As the second wave of the storm hits, looks like it's coming, two people quickly pulled it into the boat. And this 12-foot alligator, the success of the two people today's harvest, became the best of all the hunters, maybe even shoot to number one. And on the other side, Laurent and Pork Chops. Things began to look up for both of them, though it was still raining. But the two men's harvest is also very rich, even in the face of a giant alligator, and not as impetuous as before. They were treated with great care and caution. Pork Chop isn't just up against the tumbling crocodile. No more shouting. It's about keeping it under control. Let the side of Laren get a good output environment. With the death of this crocodile, the two men once again harvested a 10-foot crocodile. At the same time, Bruce. Now his boat is full of crocodiles. But look at the mullet in the sky. He knew his time was running out. But Bruce still wants to catch another one. For this he never stopped. Soon they came to a trap. Bruce quickly grabbed the rope and pulled the crocodile out of the water. Look at this small crocodile. Bruce was very upset. Can only pray for Laurent and Pork Chop. You can get something today. Otherwise, we won't be able to move up the rankings. And Daniel and Dorian on the other side. Now I don't have to face the rain anymore. But he's still trying to catch a giant crocodile. To wrap up the day's work. After all this rain, the crocodile's under the water, and I'm starting to forage. As the two arrive at a trap. Look at that very active crocodile. Dorian hurried forward and pulled him to the side of the boat. And get it out of the water, although the crocodiles have already appeared and started to fight like crazy. But it was Daniel on the other side who found the opportunity. He was sent straight to heaven, and a crocodile this big on a boat. Make two people very happy. Although today has been a lot of hardships. But on the whole, it was rewarding. With the storm completely over. Ronnie and Timmy to celebrate. Make it through a dangerous day today. Timmy cooked a special meal. Although the food is very simple. You don't look so good, do you? But to do something like this, it's also a very difficult thing to do. With today's hunt over, the rankings have also changed. The Laron team made it to the top, even if it's alongside Edgar. Well, that's all for this program. Give it a thumbs up, and let's look forward to the next episode. These two guys are amazing. In the high teens, in short sleeves, driving a boat down the river. But the two were only hunting for crocodiles. After all, it's too thick to show off. As the cold wind blows, the temperature suddenly dropped into the teens last night, and crocodiles don't like cold temperatures. This is a direct threat to hunters hunting them. To do so, new ideas must be devised to try to maintain their ranking, even raise the crocodile average. And for that, the Landry's team, ready for the hunt early in the morning. But even in this weather, Don and Jacob have 70 more traps to check. But as the two find one bait after another, it was hanging in the air the whole time. They can't sit back now. Wait for the crocodiles to bite themselves. Then Jacob spotted the crocodile ahead of him. Get Don ready right now. As Jacob brings the boat closer, Don immediately throws the triangle hook out of his hand and slowly pull it to the side of the boat. Even though the crocodile was just out of the water, he was acting very silly. But the two know that no crocodile is simple. Don keeps pulling on it until the crocodile shows signs of fatigue. Jacob nearby quickly killed him, although the cold wind came suddenly. But the two still managed to catch the crocodile, and about 10 feet in size. Still, the two plan to make some changes. And on the other side, there's Troy and Kimchi. I find my own trap is empty. This made both of them feel a little uncomfortable. I finally saw a falling trap, only to find out it was a crocodile. This moment left the two very surprised. Kimchi quickly controlled it to the side of the boat. Although the weather is cold now, but the crocodile doesn't let that slow it down. But the good news is Troy is stronger. Just kill it straight away. But Kimchi took it out and found. This crocodile is only 7 feet tall. It was an instant pain for both of them. So the two climbed back to first place, decided to adopt a new strategy. That is to run into a clear river. Zach and Joey at the same time, to overcome the cold weather. Two people decided to use a fishing hook to arrest. But now the river is full of fog. Two people are very hard to see all the time. Visibility is not even 91 meters. But to be able to catch a crocodile. The two continue to search for crocodiles. That's when Zach hit on something. Two people quickly set sail close. And Zach throws the hook out of his hand, prepare to pull it back to the side. But the first shot missed. This makes two people very upset. And it's impossible to see in this fog. Now Willie on the other side came in last on one occasion. It made him choose to come to a new place, to deal with the cold wind and catch up. But the 30 traps that were laid yesterday, almost all of them are empty. This made Willie light his cigarette again and worry. But the good news is this one might be in stock. Willie hurried forward and seized the rope and pulled it straight out of the water. But the branch caught the rope. But in the process of rescue, the crocodile suddenly began to roll. This drove Willie mad. Keep it on the side of the boat and pick up the gun on one side. After taking aim at this crocodile, just fire the gun. Kill the alligator that was just so active. But when you pull it out, it's tiny. But this crocodile walked into a trap. Can only waste this one label. Willie is trying to change that. Decided to look for where those crocodiles might be. and Ronnie and Timmy on the other side, after yesterday's torrential rain, but to experience today's cold wind. This makes two people very uncomfortable. But it's not over yet. It took the two of them several hours. Just caught a few tiny crocodiles. It made Ronnie wonder about himself. Why the continuous suffering? But his speed did not slow. Instead, he came to this trap. Timmy quickly stepped forward to hook the rope. But it turns out you can't hook it. This makes two people curious to get off the boat to see. All of a sudden, there's an alligator. Timmy started looking for his head, with Ronnie luring him out. Timmy sees the moment and kills him straight away. With the death of this crocodile, quickly pulled it to the side of the boat. But it turns out this one is only 7 feet long. These two are a disaster. After all, since this morning, none of them were more than 9 feet tall. And Don and Jacob on the other side. And I finished today's secret sauce, since they didn't catch any crocodiles in the morning. For this, Don has created a secret sauce, although I don't know what's in it. But after watching Don add a bunch of stuff, I had a special taste. It should be tempting for those crocodiles. After all, Don tasted it and felt good about it. With the two men back in the swamp again, Jacob put the juice in the back of the boat and opened the valve on the barrel and spilled the juice near the trap. Turns out the two were planning on killing the giant crocodiles, lured to the vicinity of this trap, although Jacob has his doubts. But time will tell. At the same time, Troy and Kimchi, the two men, came to a patch of clear water. Due to old hunter Troy, based on his own experience, knew the water would be hot in a place like this. And in the Kimchi experience, turns out it's exactly what Troy said. It also represents crocodiles. Must have migrated here. Suddenly they saw a tight line. Sure enough, there are crocodiles in places like this. Troy quickly pulled it out, although the gators dived back in as soon as they showed up. But under Troy's tugging, still keep it on the side of the boat. Even let the Kimchi on one side get a chance. Look at this crocodile killed by Pickles. This one was found to be 10 feet in size. And this crocodile gets on board. It also means that these two people made the right decision. Joey and Zach at the same time, in a new side of water, because the fog wasted a lot of time there. They found a lot of crocodiles here. Watch them gradually go behind that door. The two immediately decided to follow. I believe we can catch a giant crocodile there. That's when Zach throws a shot. And what else did they manage to hook? I almost pulled Zach off the boat, but I'm glad Joey was there. Otherwise, the crocodile would have succeeded. With Joey joining in, the crocodile was also pulled to the boat. Look at this giant, struggling crocodile. Zach quickly pulled out his gun. Shoot and kill the crocodile as soon as you target it. With the death of this 11-foot alligator, two people succeed in this cold weather to catch a crocodile of this size. As the crocodile is slowly pulled into the boat, they were very happy. And Willie Edwards on the other side, still looking for crocodile-friendly waters. But then Willie came to a water lily and keep pounding the water in there. I can't believe I pulled out a crocodile. Willie quickly threw the hook out, and in that constant testing, but in Willie's sudden force, the crocodile was pulled to the surface. But this one is really strong. Almost took Willie down with him, but the crocodile suddenly stopped. So Willie can get back on his feet. Even managed to keep it on the side of the boat. At the same time, he picked up a gun and killed him, and then immediately pull it out. Although this crocodile is very heavy, but he was able to pull it into the boat. And Ronnie and Timmy on the other side. We haven't caught a single giant alligator yet. This forced Ronnie to take a risk. That is to go to the water ahead, even though I just saw the giant alligator inside. But the water inside is very shallow. But in order to catch a giant alligator, the two chose to go inside for an interview. Then he retreated some distance. He just started going in there. But after the boat went in, there was a problem with the engine. But the good news is that we can still move on. Except the engine is likely to overheat, leading to a direct strike. The pair are very adventurous. But there's no turning back now. Just keep going after the gators. At the same time, Troy and Kimchi. The boat has been filled with crocodiles. But now they are very tired. So Kimchi pulled out a box of dessert. That moment made Troy happy. But when you open it up, you find it's not a dessert, but a box of plants. This makes Troy very helpless. But there's nothing else to eat now. Can only eat the green plants. And on the other side, Zach and Joey. After entering that uncharted territory, it didn't take long to catch a giant alligator. Even now I see another one. As Joey gets closer, Zach immediately throws out the hook. Can be pulled back into successful hook. Zach's fishing line was ripped, and the crocodile stayed there the whole time. This made the two people mad. But good thing they have a triangle hook. Let's just get Joey on the hook. And they pulled him back to the boat. And after seeing the crocodile contained beside the boat, Zach immediately pulled out his waist gun. I'm sure I'm from May's side. In the face of an emergency. That was a quick shot. It was also very accurate, with the death of this crocodile. But it was Zach who had trouble putting the gun back together. But fortunately, it didn't affect. The two men pulled the crocodile into the boat. And this alligator's harvest. It also proves once again that their decision is correct. And Jacob and Don on the other side already started looking at those. A trap for those mysterious juices. But the cold still scared them. But as I got closer, I found the drumstick on this trap is still there. But that doesn't prove everything. He immediately ran to another place. Results after reaching the position. But there's a crocodile bite here. Don quickly stepped forward and pulled it up. The two looked at the active crocodile. Found this one nearly 10 feet long. But the giant crocodile's resistance is fierce. It's hard for Don to control. But at least they're experienced. I managed to keep it on the side of the boat. It even gave Jacob an opportunity. Just let him die by the side of the boat. Despite the sudden cold. Make those crocodiles eat less. But under Don's secret sauce, still managed to get this crocodile on board. At the same time, Ronnie and Timmy, to be able to fill this place with crocodiles. But it's still a long way off. As the two men came to the first trap, Timmy immediately stepped forward and pulled the rope out. But because this crocodile is too heavy, Ronnie quickly stepped forward to finish the rope. It soon pulled the crocodile to the surface. It was Ronnie who had the strength, not just pull it to the surface. I still have control over the side of the boat. Although crocodiles put up a strong fight in the water. But under Ronnie's control, it was Timmy who found the opportunity. As the crocodile is pulled over to the boat, found this one nearly 11 feet long. But look at this crocodile right in front of you. Two people suddenly feel a moment to go out to do so. After all, on the way in, I almost had engine trouble. And Willie Edwards on the other side, even though a giant crocodile has been caught. But Willie was confident in the plan. Quickly again on a water lily. Still keep blasting this place. Sure enough, a crocodile was brought out. Willie quickly threw the hook out, and he managed to pull to the side of the boat. Watch this very active crocodile. Willie was very excited. Just pull out your gun and shoot him. Looking at Willie so fast. I almost thought he was hiding Chew, because there are so many threats to bring out his full strength. At the same time, Troy and Kimchi, and the success of catching many giant crocodiles. But the cold weather is still tough. But to be able to win this season, the two are continuing to make arrests. Then the two men also came to the trap. Kimchi immediately stepped forward and grabbed the rope, and pulled the crocodile to the surface. As the two men pull the crocodile into the boat, even though this one is only 10 feet, but Kimchi alone can't pull it. And Ronnie and Timmy on the other side, we managed to catch some giant crocodiles. But they faced a problem. They may not be able to get out of the water. But for now, there's no stopping the hunt, especially this alligator right here. The two men quickly approached the trap. Ronnie was able to pull the alligator out. But this is a very large body. It took Ronnie's mind off the question. Instead, I'm happy to fight alligators. And Timmy did the same. The crocodile was killed in no time. With the death of this giant crocodile, two people quickly pulled it into the boat. And the appearance of this crocodile, Ronnie and Timmy's alligator averages, it's also improving again. But in order to make it out, two people quickly ran to the entrance. And so it was again as it had come in. Just go straight ahead, even though it knocked the grass down. But they made it out. And on the other side, Zach and Joey, under the action of the hook, and still managed to get a lot of giants. And in front of this trap, it's also a huge crocodile, with Joey grabbing the rope. The crocodile was also pulled out. But this giant crocodile has quite a temper, constantly attacking the hull. But it was of no use. Even Zach got his chance. Just stand aside and send it to heaven. Although after pulling the crocodile out, turns out it's not that big, but the alligator is still 9 feet tall. And now Jacob and Don, also under the influence of the secret sauce. There are still a lot of gains, but the two are still looking for crocodiles. Even found a rope in the water. The two quickly ran forward, pulling the crocodile to the surface. With the death of this giant crocodile, they found this one very big, but that's just a big head, but it's still 11 feet tall. At the same time, Willie. And in those water lilies, there was a boom. Willie, after seeing the crocodile, quickly threw the triangle hook out, although the crocodile was successfully pulled to the surface. But I keep trying to hide back. But under Willie's control, the crocodile did not manage to run away. And that's when Willie picked up the gun, delivered a devastating blow to the crocodile. But then Willie spotted the crocodile. It's bigger than I thought, but we managed to pull it onto the boat. And this 11-foot alligator, and the success of Willie now, has a very rich harvest. And on the other side, there's Troy and Kimchi. We've managed to capture 13 giant crocodiles. But in order to be able to be first, the two men came to a trap again. Kimchi quickly picked up the gun and aimed. And after careful aim, he just shot and missed. Had to quickly pull it to the side of the boat. Let Kimchi find another chance. And after looking for it for a while, the crocodile was successfully killed. Although kimchi is a risky recipe, but we managed to pull it aboard. And the buyer on the other side, the Duffy family. Don and Jacob are unloading. But then Troy came looking surprised. And kimchi was found after getting out of the car. Troy managed to smash through the doorway railing, but he didn't leave anything on the car. While Jacob and Don were laughing, Troy quickly denied that he had done it. But apparently that lame excuse doesn't work. With today's hunt over, Willie still hasn't caught up with his ranking. Well, that's all for this program. Give it a thumbs up, and let's look forward to the next episode.